Block basically because the offensive line isn't really getting a good push. They wouldn't have to create run, so now they brought in a big guy basically who can take on guys and get the 3 or 4 yards that are needed.
All right, let's get our first break of the day in here. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. It is the Arizona Wildcats and the TCU Horned Frogs here today. And it'll be, let's also give you an indication of everything else we've got coming up for you today on the show.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show, brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, we'll take a look at our offensive scouting report brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. That'll be in our next segment. Who we got in the huddle today?
We got my boy Jay Dobbins. All Pac-10 and a best-selling author. We're excited to have him. That's my boy, man. That's my guy. And we're going to talk a little bit about football and a little bit about everything else in the huddle.
And the captain's corner.
I got Frank Middleton, former offensive lineman here, great friend of mine, played in the NFL for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Oakland Raiders, real tough guy, real Texas guy.
All right, we'll also go inside the head coach's mind, DK with TL, and also give you a preview of these TCU Horned Frogs. Steven Johnson from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram will join us as well. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. We are coming to you live from Corbett's off of 4th here. Come on down. Looks like they've got they might be watching some soccer here coming up a little bit later. They've got all the Arsenal banners up outside as well. So if you're a fan of Arsenal, I'm not sure exactly what league that is, but I'll look it up and let you know. But we might have some soccer happening here along with our college football. Big game in the Big Ten today. The Ohio State Buckeyes and the Indiana Hoosiers. I don't know how big a game that is, considering the Buckeyes are 2-touchdown favorites, but Indiana is undefeated, so it'll be interesting nonetheless. We'll update you on all the scores and games on the schedule coming up as well today. Again, Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. I'm David Kelly. We got Kelvin Efon, Glenn Howe, J.W. Madden running the ship today. And you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Polson Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, the Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors
Kelvin,
are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using it doesn't work. Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
Not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rocking K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 five-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Ifan.
I thought Joey really gave us something in there. You know, I know.
As Fafita puts a man in motion, fakes the handoff to Hunter, drops back, looking right. He's got Quali Conley wide open, 5, touchdown, Arizona, as Quali Conley takes it in. Fafita takes the snap, hands it off to Quali Conley, who breaks away for the first down, and many more past the 10, 5, touchdown, Arizona. Quali Conley on the first play of the drive extends Arizona's lead.
Here is the Wildcats offensive scouting report for today's game.
He's into the end zone, touchdown, Arizona.
The offensive scouting report is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Well, it was great to see Quali Connolly get back to being Quali Connolly after a couple of fumbles over the course of several games. Really kind of helped derail him a little bit. He had the fumble against West Virginia when it looked like early the Wildcats were going down to score an equalizing touchdown, and West Virginia was able to turn that around and go up 2 scores, and then he got the ball punched out in the rain at Central Florida, and with the Wildcats down 7-0 and backed up against their doorstep, and then the Knights or Citronauts that day turned that around and put the Wildcats in a 2-touchdown hole, and now all of a sudden you're playing from behind in both those games, which you would eventually lose. But that was a much-needed performance by Quali Conley on Saturday.
Yeah, he's a quality running back, man. I mean, Quali is really say that about 10 times in a row. But I mean, he's a really good back. I mean, he's solid, man. I mean, can you imagine if we had all these guys that are, even Merritt back, all these, we got some really good backs, man. we just got to. I think we got to get the ball to them a little bit more. I'd love to see that a little bit more. And you know what? If we do, because if this game is going to be a passing game on their side, when you're passing the ball, you have to be able to be on the field and get in the rhythm.
Right.
So if we can run the ball and stay on the field, we can keep them off their little game. So we have to be able to counter that with our run game, and we have some quality running backs, and then the O-line just got to play good today.
Yeah, and I think Conley just, trying to make things happen. And sometimes when you're trying to make things happen, you do a little bit too much, and the ball security wasn't quite there. And I hate it for a running back, especially in a situation where you don't have a Mary, you don't really have other guys that you can really go to right now. So I really hated it for him because it put the offensive coordinator in the position and the quarterback in a position where they're looking to pass even more now. And so, yeah, getting him back and having him be able to run the ball and be effective is a huge key for us, because that puts a little bit more on TCU's mind of something that they have to worry about going into this game, and not just worried about stopping T-Mac over there.
Well, you mentioned Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. For the record, I did ask the head coach about that a couple of weeks ago, if he had even thought or there had been any discussions about just going ahead and playing Ja'Cory at this point, and he flat out said, no, we have not even thought about that.
He's still number one on the depth chart, too.
And let me say this. And I was talking to DK, and I said I would play him because of the simple fact of the kid has done everything that you've asked him to do at this point.
Yeah.
And the NCAA has just been dragging their legs,
Yeah.
I mean, or whatever you want to call it, and I just feel like that with the kid doing everything that he should have done, the season isn't going quite which way you want it to go. Hey, why not show that you have these guys back? I understand, coach, and I understand the requirements. You said he's still on the depth chart. Take him off the depth chart.
I
Take him off the depth chart then. But no, I truly feel that way. If I was a head coach, that's the type of chance that I would take, and to show my guys how much I believed in them and how much I appreciated them coming to this school, because bringing them in knowing that this situation could happen, because everybody knew about this because because I think it was a little hiccup somewhere in there, right?
Yeah.
So everybody knew about this. I don't even think he would be here, because I think that's why the other school ended up letting him go.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But everybody kind of knew about it, and I understand at the beginning of the year because you have championship aspirations and big bowl game aspirations. But to this point, man, this kid been here working the whole time, man. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Put him on the field.
Let the NCAA know.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, guys, we're tired of you guys, man. Like make your decision and let's go from there.
That's what I say. I think they should play him, man. I think they should.
That's coming from old players.
Yeah.
I ain't got to worry about the repercussions of being
exactly.
and everything.
We
But I'm
ain't gonna
telling you,
lose
though,
no
as a head coach,
Yeah.
I would be talking to compliance. I would be talking to the president of the school and everybody, and they would have to tell me in my eyes why they didn't think it was right for that kid not to have an opportunity to play when he trusted us with his last little bit of eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting right there. And we'll see. I think definitely there was a part of me, and I don't know that they would do this, but there was a part of me that wonders if they've already found out and they just aren't saying.
Which is terrible.
Yeah.
And my issue is, here's what my issue with the situation. It's guys that we see has played 7 years.
Yeah.
This guy's coming off the COVID. He played 5 and 6 years. So what is the deal here? And he went to I think it was like Bethune-Cookman. I'm not
I think it was Alcorn State.
Alcorn State or whatever. So
states.
How is these guys coming up with all this eligibility in these other places? And you're saying I'm lost. That's all I'm saying. They're figuring it 7, 8 years. Come on, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
It's sad. It's really
Cam
sad.
Rising's on year 7.
Yeah. How? Cam Rising's on
That's
year
all I'm saying.
20. He's getting Social Security, man.
Because if the kid really played that year, there would be film of him playing 5 or 6 games. If he played even 3 games, from what I'm noticing of these guys getting hurt, getting injury, then you should get, especially coming from some of those HBCUs that are underfunded programs where they can't even feel. They don't even know if he was there.
Yeah.
So that right there should tell you right there that probably shouldn't count, right? So what's the difference when this kid is he's probably 21?
Yeah.
This kid's out there playing 25 and 26 and 27, DK, so I don't get it. I don't get it. He must have been a special weapon that they knew about and they didn't want him here or something, because I'm confused.
I definitely would like to know. I think we would all like to know what's going on in that situation and why the NCAA either has not said or the Wildcats have not said.
Yeah,
And I say one thing.
Yeah.
And one guy does matter. You take that running back off Boise State and tell me who they are.
Yeah,
exactly.
One guy, the way Mary looked in that beginning, the first couple games, he made Conley look better. I mean, come on, man. He made everybody look better. So you take that one type of running back, 1,000-yard rusher off, and you got a different team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also, man, I think this guy's got a case, man. He's got a case against him. I mean, he's got a case. Maybe
that's what they're doing. They're saving his case for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's look at the bright side.
I hope he gets some lettuce out of this, man.
Man,
it was good to see him. He's still down there with a smile on his face.
He is. We saw him on the sideline, and he was totally positive.
Yeah,
uplifted my spirit.
And I'm like, damn, dude, I feel sorry. I'm like ready to cry.
I'd be over there hot. I'd be like, I can't wait out here. I came out here to play football.
All right, let's hear from Quali Connolly on bouncing back from his fumble issues.
Fumbles is part of the game. I just felt like that although I had 2 back-to-back games, I just felt like ball security was the main focus on this game and getting my confidence back. And I felt like it was a good game to get my confidence back.
And he did that, and it's always great to hear from running backs coach Alonzo Carter. Very introspective coach, and he talked about the battle that Quali has been facing these last few weeks after he started losing control of the football.
It's great to see him bounce back because the first one, we were all in shock. Even he was in shock because where we were in a great position to score. It was a good drive we had going, and you could see the look in his eyes. And he like, I just fumbled, and he just had to kind of get him out of that mode. And the second one, the Central Florida one, you guys have been in my practice. You see we do ball security drills every day. We do some kind of, as I call it, running through the smoke, the blind spots, vicing the ball, Xing the ball, whatever verbiage different people use. And he was in traffic. So that was a fundamental flaw, fundamental breakdown in what we teach. And when we watched it, I was able to show it to him, and we was able to move on from it because it was 2 or 3 people in traffic, and he broke the rule. The ball wasn't X, the ball wasn't vice, it wasn't clamped. It was one arm, and the guy did a good job of punching it out from the side. And what I love about the kid, with a young man, he never makes any excuses. And to have 2 weeks in a row where he fumbled, which is very out of character, you just say, hey, let's move on. Let's do. You know what we do. You know how we practice. I know the detail we put into it. We've been everywhere I've been as far as a running back coach, especially at San Jose State. We've always been in the top 2 or 3 in the country as far as that stat. One year we was number 1, so that's something that we put a heavy emphasis on. Coach Brennan's big on having us watch a lot of ball tape, which emphasizes the importance of protecting the football. So when we have turnovers like that, it has an effect that mentally you're like, wow, we go over these things. So when you make those type of mistakes, you got to kind of push that out their brain. But it's hard because we practice it so much. So when stuff like that happens, you can see where it kind of wore on his psyche a little bit. But I was like, man, we gotta play Houston. I need you to be back to the person you were. And then the bye week came at a great time. So it gave us a chance not only to get physically healthy, but mentally healthy and go out there and play our version of football.
And what I was going to say was, what that ends up happening a lot of time with guys that don't normally fumble is when you're trying to do too much. You're losing and you're trying to do something extra and you forget the thing that's most important, protecting the football, because you're trying to get that extra yard and you're putting that hand down on the ground. You've seen the guys put the hand on the ground, and when you put that hand on the ground, the other hand your arms comes up a little bit. I missed some bigger runs I could have had because I always worried about ball security. I did not want to lose it, so I never let the ball get away from my body. I kept it tight, and like they said, Xing means basically
you want to run like
crossing, you're hugging the football.
Yeah,
so when you get in traffic, you want to hug that football and get it pressed against your body, so there's no room to get knocked out or to come out even on when you hit the ground, because that ball come out when you hit the ground. A lot of times the referee will say it came out early, so you have to put ball security above the extra yard or 2 that you may get, and that's what basically happened in the situation. You had a kid that was pressing. The same as Fafita at quarterback. You're pressing because you're trying to get back in the winning column. So as a running back, like I said, in my career, DK, guess how many times I fumbled? In 3 years running the ball, I don't know how many carries over. I know over 500.
One?
No, I won't say that. One.
One.
And that was on a ball handling mistake that I'm not going to blame the quarterback, but it was.
It might have been him.
He didn't quite put it where it's supposed to be, but I took that, though. And Coach Tomey yelled at me, got in my face, said, don't you ever let that happen again. It was my first year coming out of basketball, and I was surprised that he yelled at me, but when he yelled at me, it made me realize how important I was. It made me realize that we're going to get you the ball again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm yelling, because if I ain't going to get you the ball, I'm not even going to talk to you. Let's get somewhere over there and hide your jersey. Right? So only one time ever, only gave up one sack ever, because at the end of the day, it's all about the fumble, the fundamentals of doing things correctly over trying to do the extra. The extra always gets you in trouble when you have to just do your job. All 11 guys.
Absolutely.
And I was 16 that's why you got to drill it every day. I mean, that's why you got to do those drills every day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every day.
That's why I go back and I tell people again, Coach Babers is a good coach.
Yeah.
We didn't fumble, and Coach Babers nailed it into your head. If you fumble, I get fired. And I'm not taking getting fired. So it's you or me. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, man, I hate things didn't quite work out with him as offensive coordinator, but I will not take that he's not a good coach. That's ridiculous to even think of. He's a good offensive coordinator as well. Whatever went on, things happen. But no, you're not going to get me to be like, oh, no, he can coach. I know a lot of guys that, man, help get to the NFL if that's what you guys are
judging it by. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, coming to you live from Corbett's off of 4th. Arizona and TCU kickoff down in Texas coming up at 1 o'clock. We'll go in the huddle with Hal. Straight ahead, Jay Dobbins is going to join us. It is DK here along with Kelvin and Glenn, and you are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
That's the Wildcats Offensive Scouting Report. The Offensive Scouting Report is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. O'Reilly Chevrolet, get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Come out to Dave & Buster's, the best place outside of the stadium to see the games this football season. Monday and Thursday, get all-you-can-eat wings with Game Card for $19.99. Sunday, get in on the chance to win a big game watch party at Dave & Buster's in front of the big screen, plus other big prizes and weekly winners. Join them now through October 22nd, all day, every day. They'll be offering $5 22-ounce drafts only at Dave & Buster's. Make Dave & Buster's your place to watch the games.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's November and the weather is cooling down. Now is the time to have your furnace serviced to ensure that it's operating safe and efficient. We also have a $79 garbage disposal service. And check out our monthly plumbing specials on our website. Call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing for all your plumbing and heating needs at 520-492-0748 or picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Are you facing plumbing problems and need a reliable solution? Whether it's a leaky faucet, a clogged drain, or an upgrade to a tankless water heater, Rightway has you covered. And for a limited time only, we're offering 10% off your next repair or installation. Don't let plumbing issues ruin your day. Call Rightway at 520-276-2775. We'll get a plumber to your door. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Efon. Let's go in the huddle with Arizona letterman Glenn Howell. In the huddle with Glenn Howell is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, with over 25 years serving Arizona.
Welcome into this week's edition In the Huddle with Hal, presented by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. I'm U of A tight end Glenn Howell, class of 1985, and my guest today is my ride and die, my boy, my guy, Jay Dobbins, class of 1984. Honorable mention All Pac-10 two years in a row, and a best-selling author of his great book, No Angel. Jay Dobbs, how you doing, my brother?
Beef Howell, DK, Kel, Jay
What's
Dobbs,
up,
Arizona
Jay
football
Dobbins?
fan, man.
Yes,
Bear
sir.
down.
Everybody knows my boy Jay Dobbs. Jay, how you been doing, dude?
Dude, we had a good conversation yesterday about this game and these kids, man. You know what? No one is coming to save you, man. Nicky Foles and Kadeem Carey ain't walking through the door.
That's
Fight
right.
back or be a victim.
That's
you want
right.
Something you never had? You want something you never had? You're going to have to do things you've never done. You want people to remember your name? You got to do something they can't forget.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And you know what? There's a sign in the facilities where I work out all my athletes. It's a big sign. It's a huge sign. And Mark Martinez, Blake Martinez's dad, put it up there. He put up there, says, "Nobody cares, work harder." That's what it is. Nobody cares, work harder. Because it ain't nobody coming, like you said, ain't nobody coming to rescue you. It's going to be like, it's on you. What you going to do?
Dude, you know what? It's like fight back or be the victim. I believe our kids are winners. I believe our coaches are winners. But winners win. There's no excuses in life. There's no one to blame. Go get it done.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So Jay, man, you've been you're out of coaching now. What have you been doing?
You know what? I provide some training at law enforcement events. I'm at 63 years old. I'm trying to learn how to play golf. Nothing will make you feel less athletic than trying to hit a little ball sitting still in front of you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get out with me and DK, man. And we can all learn together. Yeah.
You know what, you guys, man? Like, I'm committing the cardinal sin of sports. I'm jumping the gun. I'm saying, like, look, let's handle our business against TCU. If ASU can beat BYU,
oh yes,
we're going to have the showdown of the century and steal the conference championship from them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the greatest scenario. We talked about that yesterday. You know, it's if they do win, I hope they'll beat BYU. This is the first time I've ever.
I always say that.
Yeah.
DK know that. I always
Yeah.
say I want the people at their best.
Yeah.
I want them at their best so I can go and test myself so I can see what I'm really about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that, if that scenario comes up, if they beat BYU and then we come into that game and they have to beat us to win the season championship,
Right.
not just to get to the championship. They'll get to the championship, but they have to beat us, and that would be a great scenario for us to win play against ASU.
You guys know better than most. If you want to save and salvage a frustrating season, go knock ASU out of that spot. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if Loop has got to kick a 70-yarder to win it. You don't get style points. Win the dang game.
Yep, absolutely. Jay Dobbins is our guest in the huddle with Howell, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, serving Arizona for over 25 years. So, Jay, so tell me a little bit about, when you were playing, okay, Jay Dobbins is the guy that I remember walking in the dorms at the Babcock, at the Cock, okay? We were at there, and this guy would have a plastic ball on like a rubber band, and he'd be throwing it and catching it, catching it.
Oh, he was before his time.
Yeah.
Somebody patting that.
Yeah, they were throwing it. And Jay, tell us how you made yourself such a great player, and what was your determination?
You know what, Glenn? When you're small and slow and weak and unelusive, you got to do every single thing you can to be competitive. And we were surrounded by some great players, some of the legends of Arizona football. I was just trying to survive, dude.
Yeah, and the thing is that when they switched me to tight end, and I used to see Jay Dobbins doing all that stuff. That's the guy I hung out with because I went out. Remember we used to jump the fence at our practice facility and go and catch balls. At first I wasn't catching a lot, but I was catching. But we went to catch balls.
Dude, you know what? Where the old rec center is, that was the old green box,
Yep.
old practice field, right? Dude, you know what? We didn't have all the distractions that kids have now. That's what we did in our free time.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
went to the green box and threw the ball around. And all those things that Kelvin was talking about, we did that every day. Worked on the fundamentals and the technique and the tradecraft of our position.
Yeah, absolutely. Those were the most important things of being a elite athlete. You could come in just like when I come in as a JC. You're a big guy at the JC, and then all of a sudden everybody's a big guy.
Right.
Everybody's the guy. So it was really important for you to understand how you're going to find your niche when you come in. And Jay, you were a transfer from Arkansas. Okay, you came in here. What was your feelings like when you came in here, when you came into Arizona?
Well, Coach Smith was fresh, and so he was instilling his culture, and he embraced players like me. He gave players like me who were chance. I was never going to be a star, but I knew what my role was, and I tried to do what he asked me to do within the concept and the structure of the team and the game plan, and just tried to be a good teammate to do what I was asked to do to help on the big picture.
Yeah, and Jay, you talk about guys that are having we have big game today at TCU and everything. Tell us a little bit about how you prepared yourself for your games.
Like for me, the mental, emotional, spiritual part of it was so huge. Like when we would leave the hotel and go and walk to the stadium, like my mind was on nothing but doing my job. I knew I had a role. They were never going to throw the ball over the top to me, but on third down, when they called that 8-yard option route,
Yep.
I knew like it was my time to do my part.
260 watt, 260. What was it? 260X. What we used to run. That was like, what was that? I think it was 260, wasn't it? What did they call that? The 260.
That was, you know what? That little option route to the slot. That was my bread and butter. And, and I knew that when they called that play, like if I didn't execute, somebody else was going to get the next
chance. Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, third down, we knew we were going to J. Dobbs.
And I always say this, guys. I say this for Noah Fafita, any runner. I don't care what position it is. The biggest motivator is having somebody behind you that's pushing you, that's ready to get on the field. No wonder these DBs been playing great with a guy like Genesis behind them, because they knew if they slipped up a little bit, this kid was going to take either one of those positions. So when you have depth, right, that's what that creates, opportunities to have competition. And I would say, and Jay is another example, one of those guys like Brandon Sanders and myself and all the the guys that you play different sports, you may be undersized or whatever it was, and the coaches found you under some rock or somewhere, and you end up making the program because you have to have guys to fit around the Trump candidates of the world and everything. Those guys can't do it by themselves. It's the attitudes of the guys like Jay that makes your team, because you have to believe from the first guy, DK, to the last guy on the team that y'all are there to kick butt.
Yeah.
You have to believe that. You can't have guys half in and half out. You have to have that look in everybody's eyes that they can get it done.
Well, you know what, Kel, that's exactly, you're spot on. And so you look at the criticisms that have been put on this team. Jacob Cowling's playing in the NFL. Tanner McLaughlin's on an NFL roster. We lost NFL quality players, and so who's going to step up? Someone's got to fill that hole.
Well, and the thing I've been saying, Jay, is not only did you lose those NFL caliber players, but then you lost the guys you thought were going to be replacing them. Either you show up on day one of practice and Raymond Polito's not your left tackle.
Yeah.
So not only did you lose Jordan Morgan, but now you lost Raymond Polito. Now you're down to the next guy.
Yeah.
You show up a weekend of practice, Malachi Riley's off the field. You thought he was going to be that guy to replace Jacob Cowling. Now he's not there. And down the line, Cam Burnett, you thought he was going to be that guy to step up, and he's been hurt all season. So not only did you lose those NFL guys, but you lost the guys you thought were going to replace those guys.
We've all been in that situation, though, as athletes, where an opportunity is presented. The door is open. So what do you do with your opportunity? And the biggest part of ability is availability. Are you ready to execute what you're asked to do?
Yeah.
Because if you're not, the next guy's gonna.
Jay Dobbins is our guest in the Huddle with Hal, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, serving Arizona for over 25 years. So, Jay, you went to a program, you coached at Tanker Verde who was not winning at all. Tell us how did you change that culture there from not winning? They were, I think weren't they like Owens, like 20 or something before you got there?
There were a lot of losses.
Yeah, a lot of losses. And then you turn around and you guys make the playoffs. How did you do that? What was your process of doing that?
And I'm going to add to that, and not to take anything away from the new coach that is there, but you set the groundwork for that by putting that attitude into that community and to those students with the time that you put in. So, congratulations to the new coach. I'm not sure his name, but congratulations to him. But that foundation is important that Jay
Jeff
built
Bonow,
there.
Kirby's son.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, Jeff Bonow's there now.
Yeah.
Coach Bonow has done a great job. He's a great coach. But when we came in, the kids were great kids. Kids are kids. But it's the mentality. It's expecting to win. And not expecting to win just on Friday night. Expecting to win on Monday afternoons. Win the rep. Win the drill. Win the play. Win the day. Win the next day. It was the mentality. The kids were there. The kids are kids. They just needed to be inspired that they were capable of what we talked about exactly when we started. You want something you never had, you're going to have to do things you never done.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And when you're doing that kind of stuff, when you're actually, seeing the kids actually change their attitude and feeling and having that feeling as a winner. How is that inspiring for you?
Well, you know what? I coached those kids hard. I coached them really hard. Some days I coached them too hard. But if the kids know that you love them, you can coach them hard. They want to be coached hard. If they don't think you care about them and you're coaching them hard, they will tune you out. But if they know that you love them, you can coach them hard, you can push them, and you can challenge them.
Yeah. And Jay, so now we're talking to Jay Dobbins. Jay, you were an ATF federal agent. You did undercover. You did a lot of stuff that was very dangerous.
We worked together undercover.
Yeah, we did.
You came in and did some undercover deals for me as a guest.
Yeah, it was the funnest time I ever had.
Wait, what?
Yes,
What?
I did some
What?
undercover buys, man.
What?
I did,
Wow,
I did all
I
that.
never heard that part of the story.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
yeah. Glenn Howell came in. We duct taped the wire on his back
Yep.
and sent him in to go buy guns.
Yep, absolutely. We did it.
Wow.
That was the fun time. I remember Jay telling me, he goes, Beef,
That was a fun time.
Yeah, it was. It was really fun. Jay's in the car waiting for it, listening to everything, and he said, like, if anything goes down, he's right there. And I felt comfortable because you know why? It went back to he's my teammate that he's got me. He's got my back. I was not nervous doing it. Jay, did I sound nervous when I was doing it?
Dude, you know what? You were great. You were just yourself, but it is like sports.
Yeah.
You have to mentally prepare for the challenge, and it's dangerous, and bad things can happen. But your teammates are around you, and like, hey, look, when things break bad, nothing's going to happen to you, dude, because we're coming.
Yeah. Yeah,
The only thing I want to know, Jay, is did the people think that he was Joseph Blair when he was making the pie? That's all I want to know. Did they think he was Joseph Blair?
What's Joseph Blair in here trying to buy some guns?
That's a good question. That was a little bit before Joe's time. You
Yeah.
know who they thought they were dealing with? They thought they were selling guns to Carl Malone.
Malone, yeah.
To who?
Carl Malone.
Oh,
The mailman.
The mailman.
Finna mail him back to Utah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh,
goodness.
yeah. We're talking to Jay Dobbins. He's our guest in the huddle with Hal. And we brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, serving Arizona for over 25 years. Jay, what are you thinking about our guys today? What do you think about the game today?
Well, you know what? Like, I pay attention to the receiver game. That's what I love. And, dude, such a privilege to just be able to watch T-Mac. Like, that dude's getting bracketed. He's getting bumped. He's got guys over the top. He's got guys up right and left. And he's still making plays, man. You know, that kid is so fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that for a guy that is just constantly getting attention, man, he's still making plays and trying to move this team along on the offensive side of the ball, and he's a battler.
And Jay, my son has only one criticism of T-Mac is that he goes for the ball with one hand too much. What do you think about that?
You know what, man, that's spot on. That, as a receiver, as a coach, to me, that's not acceptable. You've got to attack the ball with both hands. And you know what? But Kelvin, when we were playing, they didn't have these Velcro freaking micro gloves that freaking the ball sticks in you. You don't even
Or
need
Twitter
to
or
squeeze it.
YouTube,
Just
because
stick
they
your
trying to do
hand
them
on the ball
highlights.
and it'll stick.
Well, you know what else? It's the highlights. You know, we didn't have all the highlights coming on everywhere.
Yeah.
So, these guys trying to get them highlights because I think it helps with them NIL deals.
Yeah.
Not saying that's what T-Mac doing, but I'm pretty sure that's
Well, you know what? Kids today are playing to get on SportsCenter's top 10.
Right.
Yeah. And how about the equipment, Jay? How about the guys that are just not wearing any knee pads? Now you can wear no knee. Remember we used to try to get thinner knee pads or anything we could do, but we had to have you had to have the butt pad in and the hip pad. These guys are wearing nothing.
Well, and you know what? We were playing when we still were wearing suspension helmets with the burlap straps in them.
Yeah.
We didn't have the gel helmets and the air helmets and the water helmets. And so kids are getting their eggs scrambled back in the day. And you know what? There was no such thing as a concussion. It was like, you got your bell rung, now get back in there.
Yeah, exactly. Remember they used to pop those, was it chlorine? I think it was chlorine or whatever it was. They popped that little thing and they let you smell it.
Salts.
Yeah, smelling salts, whatever it was.
I thought it was
ammonia.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like,
the ammonia, and then you be like, you get up and then you're back in the game.
You know what? That forced boys to become men.
Absolutely. Well, Jay, our thanks to Wildcat football alumni Jay Dobbins for coming and joining us on In the Huddle with Hal. Jay, I appreciate you, brother. I love you, man. And we can sit here and talk about the rest of the day, man. Sit here and go back old times. But I want to thank you very much for coming on the show and bear down, my brother.
Always great to have you, Jay.
So, Jay.
Yeah, man. Love you guys. Love you, GH. Carl Malone lookalike. They can beat the Frogs and bear down.
Yes, sir.
That's In the Huddle with Howell. In the Huddle with Glenn Howell is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, with over 25 years serving Arizona.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, a proud sponsor of Arizona Athletics since 1968. And this year, the Wildcats are driving into the Big 12. But we've been down this road before. From the WAC to the PAC, it's never been about the conference. It's always been about the Wildcats. And you can count on the Cats. And you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care for the very best deals on tires and award-winning auto care. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there. Go Cats!
Jada, we still there?
big arm to come through there, and guys doing their jobs. They practice that. We talked about running backs practicing protecting the ball. The defensive linemen practice knocking that ball out.
Yeah, and I played on defense in high school with Jack Del Rio, Don Wakamatsu, all these guys. We had, we gave up, 100, I think it was 80, I think it was 110 yards all year.
Wow.
Okay, on the ground. And our coach used to say, be offended that you didn't get to touch the running back. You should be offended that you had to put a hat on somebody. Okay, you had to put a hat on somebody. And that back then you could put a hat on them, And it's like, if you didn't get a hat on the running back on that play, you should be offended. You should be relentlessly going to the ball.
All right, let's hear from Dominic Loliso about the defensive lineman getting into the action last week.
Dominic, both you and Stanley got your punch outs 10-plus yards downfield. What kind of speak to that level of play and what allows you guys as defensive linemen kind of to get that far down to pursue the ball and be able to make plays like that?
I mean, yeah, we always swarm to the ball. You never know what running to the ball can do for you, and it did just what we expected it to do. We just popped the ball out, and the first guy catches the tackle, and then the next guy just tries to, get the ball out and obviously give our offense a chance to score. We feel like, we practiced that all week. Our thing is just swarm to the ball and just play, together and just have fun, So, doing it all week in practice and then being able to go out and do it on Saturday, or Friday, it just felt like, really good.
That was Dominic Loliso, and again, getting an opportunity to get in there and play. Chase Kennedy had a little bit of a concussion. He was in concussion protocol last week, so he was not out there on the field, although head coach Brent Brennan did say on Thursday that he expects Chase Kennedy to be available for today's ball game. Now, we also, one of the benefactors of one of those knockouts was Owen Goss. And Owen this week, we had a chance to speak with him as well. And again, a guy that came over here from Colgate. It's interesting. It's very similar to, I think, what we were talking about last night, Kelvin, in terms of these guys from some smaller schools coming up to Arizona and trying to figure it out on this level. And Owen Goss is one of those guys. Smart kid, has played a lot of football, but just has never played it at this level. And it's taken him some games since he's come in to kind of get himself up to speed. Owen, though, did say this week that he wasn't really worried about fitting in when he got here.
I didn't really have any fears. It's just football. I've been used to that. And how did I integrate myself in the defense? I'd say, like I just said about Jack, you got to earn the respect of the locker room by what you do on the field. You got to be smart, dependable, and tough, and you do that by practicing really tough. And if you do that, you earn the respect of the locker room, and that's kind of what my approach was coming in.
Oh, and there were a number of times during fall camp when you'd be 25 yards behind the defense when you weren't in there, just taking mental reps. Where did you learn that process of kind of staying mentally involved in the ball game, and speak to maybe some of the things you're looking at and looking for in those instances?
Yeah, so I'd say I started doing that my junior year spring at Colgate, actually, because I had surgery on my shoulder, so I wasn't able to practice, but I kind of just would stand back at practice and just go through my steps every time. So I started doing that junior year at Colgate. And it's good because it helps you see the whole offense and whole defense and the structure of it. And you can just see everything and go through your steps. So, yeah, I've been doing that for a while now.
I don't know why all guys don't do it. The whole if you're not in there taking a rep in practice, all the defensive guys should be standing in the end zone and seeing what's in front of them, watching the ones, watching the twos, and the twos watching the ones.
Yeah, go ahead.
Coach Babers used to say reps are like gold. Mm-hmm. Right? And so what you want to do is, if you can't get a actual physical rep, you want to get a mental rep. Mm-hmm. That way that you're in the game all the time, because you never know when you're going to be in there. So smart players that understand the use of IQ and understanding how to fit into things, they're always trying to get advantages and paying attention. You'll see that on the offensive side of the ball as well on the defensive side of the ball. You want to know how things fit.
I used, as a first teamer, if I wasn't in, the second team guys are in, I was saying, what's the play? I
Oh,
want to
yeah,
know
I'm-
what the play is.
Ear hustling.
I want to know what the play is so I can see. And I always was sitting right there watching
Every play.
there every single play. I want to make sure that we had the right route. If I I say, okay, we have a 47 wide. I have to do a run an option route. Should I have went inside the linebackers inside? Should I go outside? All those reps are important. I just do that all the time.
And then the other thing, this is how you become a leader. You get a chance to know what everybody do. So
Yeah.
when somebody makes
Yeah.
a mistake, you go over there and you let them know. You don't, correct them, but you let them know, hey, make sure you
Yeah.
do this or make sure you do that. Hey, you forgot to check this. You forgot to check that. And that gains respect of your brothers because they understand that you're not trying to front them out or nothing or put them on display, but you're really just trying to help them out and that you're concerned about the way that your offense or your defense works.
And the short shot glass I had in the NFL, okay, it's really important to know about it because D-line coach Earl Eggett's telling you, do you know what that play was? Do you know what that call was? Where were you supposed to line up? You needed to know where you were at, and you needed to know all the plays that were called, all the calls that were called, and you know the defense, where you at in orange, where were you supposed to be. I even remember the numbers. That's how ingrained it was, the orange and gray. We used to have those defenses, and then you see Howie Long there sitting there looking at the play. What you knew. You had to understand. You had to take those mental reps, man. Because I wasn't going to get. I don't think I was going to get in for I didn't think I was going to get in. So I was thinking, I'm like, here, I got to be able to learn and learn that. If I'm seeing Howie Long and Bill Bickel and these guys are doing all that shit, you got to be able to be in there and understand that.
Well, you just threw me back down memory lane, bringing up Earl Leggett because I went to college with his son Brad. Big
His dad
offensive
was my
lineman.
coach.
Big offensive lineman for the USC Trojans back in the 80s.
Little Southern boy from LSU.
Indeed. I remember Brad. He would roll over the Bruins like the rivalry will happen today out in Los Angeles between Southern California and UCLA. All right, we will have our rivalry game next week, the Territorial Cup. But first, matters to take care of in Texas Christian. We'll get into that game happening up in ASU today as well. ASU BYU, some special things happening that have a little bit of a local connection there, and we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later. It's Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Much more straight ahead. Let's tell you what's going on now. That wraps up our look at the Arizona defense, though.
And that's a look at the Wildcats' defensive scouting report for today's game.
After throw, here comes the rush again. He's sacked by Jacob Manu.
Today's defensive scouting report is brought to you by Rocking K. Rocking K, Tucson's premier master plan community. This is Arizona football on Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show, brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, still to come, we'll have our keys to the game a little bit later, what the Wildcats need to do to win today down in Texas against the TCU Horned Frogs. A lot of games going on and around the country and in the Big 12. I mentioned a pretty big one up in Tempe today, 14th-ranked BYU against number 21 Arizona State. The winner of that game is likely going to the Big 12 championship game, as well as our best bets today. Arizona heads down to TCU as a huge underdog. 11 points, the Horned Frogs are favorite today with an over-under of 59.5. We'll find out if anybody's going to cash some tickets coming up a little bit later on that one. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day coming to you live from Corbett's down here off 4th. Arsenal apparently is kicking butt in their football game today over across the pond. They're up 3-0 right now. There's 38 TVs. You can be watching soccer. You can be watching American football on. You could have been here the other night watching Kadeem Carey win the CFL title for the Toronto Argonauts. Congratulations to our guy Kadeem Carey on getting that championship. Jay Dobbins dropped his name along with Nick Foles. So now we've got an NFL Super Bowl champion. We got now we got a CFL Super Bowl champion that we can talk about from recent Wildcat football lore. Along with Kelvin Efon and Glenn Howe, my name is David Kelly, and you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is getting you closer to kickoff. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community designed by nature, University Termite and Pest Control, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Go Wildcats! As a new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, the Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going up, but when they drop, that's when the guidance of a professional is most important. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 or visit online at meridianwealthllc.com.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rocking K, with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, a proud sponsor of Arizona Athletics since 1968. And this year, the Wildcats are driving into the Big 12. But we've been down this road before. From the WAC to the PAC, it's never been about the conference. It's always been about the Wildcats. And you can count on the Cats. And you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care for the very best deals on tires and award-winning auto care. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there. Go Cats!
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, best price, biggest inventory.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Ifan.
And we're coming to you live from Corbett's off of 4th. It is Arizona Game Day. Wildcats getting set to take on Texas Christian down in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, Kelvin's hometown. A couple of years ago, they played for a national championship. Kelvin, we were talking about this earlier in the week, just how, the rise of this program from when you were coming up, and it really wasn't necessarily a school that football kids wanted to go to, but that's changed. They've had some good coaches down there, Dennis Francione and a bunch of other guys that have come in there, and now Sonny Dykes is kind of carrying the mantle, trying to continue that resurgence down there.
Yeah, and I think I said it before. I think it has a lot to do with a lot of the areas in surrounding Dallas, the Lancasters, the Cedar Hills, the Sotos, South Oak Cliffs. They all had just really put more behind their football programs and just been generating great talent. And a lot of the kids staying home now instead of leaving the state. They're staying home now with the new NIL deals and everything. So there's a lot of talent in that area for schools like TCU and SMU really have an uprising with these guys.
SMU definitely back as well. Did the boys win? Arsenal? There we go. Looked like they were kicking some butt.
Yeah.
All right. The Arsenal crowd is filing out there after looked like a 3-0 victory.
That's a lot of people.
For the good guys. They had a good solid crowd of soccer fans here today. Or football. Football. Yeah. Who's the best player on Arsenal? Who's the best player? Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. All right, let's hear from the head coach. It's time for DK with BB, sponsored by nobody. My questions weekly to the head football coach here at the University of Arizona. And Brent, what exactly is going to be the pregame speech today?
I'm still formulating that, I would say. And really, I'm not going to say that in a press conference, right? But I'm excited to see us play. These kids have worked extremely hard. They have a super high care factor, and I'm excited to see them put that out there Saturday against TCU.
Brent, how would you describe your pregame messages? Are you a fiery type of pregame guy? Are you a more business-like type of pregame guy? Does it change from game to game?
It's funny. This is such a strange question. So I'm emotional pregame, right? And so there's a lot of heat in that message normally.
Coach, you had a couple of forced fumbles from defensive linemen Dominic and Stanley that happened considerably downfield. What's kind of the technique on that where, your linemen are able to curl back and maybe make those types of plays 10, 15 yards down the field?
Yeah, to me, that's all effort, and that's red line right there. Those guys, you see them, you always want to have as many Arizona jersey in the picture, on the film at the end of the play as possible. And those good things happen when someone is, the first tackler is there and has secured the tackle, and then everybody else is, busting their tail to get there and hopefully create something like that. So I thought that was an awesome picture of that. I thought our defense played with outstanding effort all night. That was exciting.
Yeah, you had emphasized after the game that you wanted your defense to have the appearance that they were playing harder. Did you feel like you weren't seeing that before?
I think you can always, that's such a that standard is such a movable goal line. You know what I mean? You're always trying to elevate how hard you play, because I think that's one of those things that can be an equalizer if the talent's offset, or if you're playing, a team that's better than you or somebody on the road, stuff like that. And so just always demanding great effort from our team is going to be an absolute staple of what we do.
Danny Gonzalez had talked in the fall camp about potential late half drives where you could maybe go down and get a kick for Tyler, and we saw that in the game on Saturday. What did you like about the way that Noah operated that to get you in a position where you could get him that field goal?
Well, I thought that was a huge momentum play for us, you know what I mean, just in the game. The excitement, it was great to see just the sideline explode with that enthusiasm for Tyler. Having seen him hit so many of those kicks, whether it been in pregame or practice, it was awesome. And
compared to the
others, Michael and Justin, they're a big part of that too, right? That operation to hit a kick from that far out, that operation has to be super clean. And so I give those guys all kinds of respect for that, and especially Michael, right? Because Michael had dropped the previous field goal attempt, right? And so, or PAT, field goal. Yeah. So for him as a freshman to come back out there in that moment and execute with detail and clarity was really important. And then obviously Tyler's talent came through and he hit a great ball. So that was a great moment for our team.
How have you evaluated this wide receiver group in terms of blocking? I mean, we see some great plays like when T-Mac sprints down the field on the Connolly and gets in front there at the end. But then we see plays like Jeremiah Patterson on that edge pass that didn't even connect with his defender to try to stop a play. How have you graded that overall?
Well, I think just in that moment that Jeremiah has to be a little bit better. I think on the play you're talking about, the corner triggered really hard and inside. And his eyes were, he's watching the ball, and so he's got to see both those things as he's standing there, the ball and the guy he's trying to block. It's not easy, having had to do that before. Those perimeter blocks, and lots of times, you end up having a physical mismatch. Now, not on that because he was on a corner, but lots of times we're asking JP or a lot of those guys to block linebackers and safeties where they're giving up 10, 20, 30 pounds, So, really the biggest thing there is just him being a little bit more patient and being able to see both, because sometimes what happens in those moments is once the ball is snapped, the receiver is too aggressive. And what happens on the perimeter is you just can't get beat fast. You can get beat slow as long as you get in the way and give the ball a chance to get past your block.
They have one of the more talented wide receivers in the conference in Jack Beck. What have you seen from him on tape, and what's going to make him difficult to defend for you?
Well, I think their whole group is good. You know what I mean? They do they have a great combination of big bodies and speed, and I think that's part of it. They have multiple guys with around 50 catches, so Hoover's doing a great job at distributing the football. Coach Dykes has always been one of those guys that's been really creative offensively and done a good job of quarterback play, and then also attacking you down the field. And so that's one of those things that with our players in the secondary, with them seeing the looks and them having to how comfortable can we get with the speed of it and dealing with each of those players individually, but then also the scheme and the quarterback and the running back combined.
All right, that is the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Brent Brennan. DK with BB, sponsored by Nobody. I want to go back to what he said concerning our wide receivers, because we did see a few more edge passes last week to get some of those guys on the edge and get them going in space. But, again, I think one of the reasons maybe we have not seen a lot of that is because of what we saw with Josh Patterson. I mean, we miss. I long for those days of Rich Rodriguez, because that was probably the best. That was probably the best blocking group of wide receivers that we've had here. That's so important to have those guys where you don't miss that cornerback. Your eyes are not in the right space, and you connect so T-Mac, or whether it's T-Mac getting the ball, whether it's Jay Patterson getting the ball, you can get that ball and get going knowing that your wide receiver teammates are out there blocking for you. It's such an important part of the game, and I think it's been one of the aspects of this team that has not necessarily also been at a high level.
Well, I really believe that now that wide receivers, because of the game has changed, you have to block, and I think that it's imperative that you understand. It's almost like, for a tight end, you don't block, you don't get the ball.
Right.
Now there's so many plays that they have the bubble screens, they have the alley screens and everything. You have to be able to block. You're seeing that at the NFL level. The NFL level, they are really good blockers. They're out there. You see the stars blocking. You see, the big guys, the great receivers, they're blocking for their teammates. So you have to be able to block, and I think that's important. And if we can do that, I mean, we got to get these guys open. Got to get these guys open in the alley.
And to me, the reason why is this. The number one reason as a receiver why you like to block is because it gives you a chance to hit that DB.
Yeah.
They're hitting you the whole time.
Yeah.
It gives me a chance to wear you out a little bit. I'll hit you in your knee. I'll hit you in your legs. I'll take you to the ground and pancake you. I'm trying to put some intimidation on you so when we run a pass play, I can be a little bit more physical and feel a little bit more open, and you don't know quite what's coming because every rep I'm coming at you. So you don't know if it's a pass play or if it's a run play. And then secondly, I have to block for you as a running back to give the quarterback time to get you the ball. You better block for me if I get out on the perimeter.
Exactly.
If I get out there because we're going to watch the film. And if I watch that film and your guy tackled me, your guy tackled me, I got an issue with you, right? And hopefully your coach does as well, and we put the guys on there that's going to do their job.
All right, it is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Much more coming up for you today here. We are live from Corbett's off of 4th. Stop on by, 38 TVs, top of the hour. We're getting set for one of the big games of the day, Ohio State and Indiana. Going to be playing this morning here. So
where they play that game?
That is in Columbus, I do believe.
Oh.
It is in Columbus. So that's probably one of the reasons why the Buckeyes are such a large favorite today. They are.
That could be ugly.
What are they? They are, let me see here if I can
14?
bring that up. 10.5.
Oh.
10.5 point favorite
dropped
on that line today. All right, coming up, we're going to go in the captain's corner and be joined by Frank Middleton, Arizona offensive lineman. We are at Corbett's once again. Stop on by. It's been a festive morning here already. Get some of the great things they've got on the menu. You can do lunch. You can do breakfast. And there are all kinds of great drink specials going on. Get the brown paper bag if you want to start inviting early today for your football Saturday. Along with Kelvin Efon and Glenn Howell, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
The Window Depot has everything you need to create the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. Browse the aisles of in-stock cabinets available in a variety of sizes and configurations and instantly elevate your space today. Visit a showroom and let our experts guide you. Whether you're choosing from ready-to-go designs or creating a custom masterpiece, we can help you select the perfect wood type, color, and style, and top it off with unique hardware to complete your look. Find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com. JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Make Dave & Buster's a part of your weekly rituals. Military Monday, get extra gameplay on your card. Tuesday night is trivia night with great prizes. Thursday is extra credit with student discounts on gameplay after 9 p.m. Stop in Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch specials. Want more? Rewards members will get an extra 100 chips with the purchase of 100 chips and Sunday sips for hospitality workers. Full and quick service restaurants, hotels, and amusement parks. Discounted beverages and apps after 9 p.m. only at Dave & Buster's.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Donna Autumn Nation.
2025 is bringing the biggest change to air conditioning in decades. New EPA regulations mean AC costs could rise by up to 25%. If you've been thinking about replacing your old AC, now's the time. Rightway is offering zero interest financing and a free furnace when you replace your AC this month. Don't wait till next year when prices go up. Call Rightway today for your free no obligation estimate. Call 520-549-2697.
The Window Depot has everything you need to create the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. Browse the aisles of in-stock cabinets available in a variety of sizes and configurations and instantly elevate your space today. Visit a showroom and let our experts guide you. Whether you're choosing from ready-to-go designs or creating a custom masterpiece, we can help you select the perfect wood type, color, and style. And top it off with unique hardware to complete your look. Find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot. More than a window store. The Window Depot has everything you need to create the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. Browse the aisles of in-stock cabinets available in a variety of sizes and configurations and instantly elevate your space today. Visit a showroom and let our experts guide you. Whether you're choosing from ready-to-go designs or creating a custom masterpiece, we can help you select the perfect wood type, color, and style. And top it off with unique hardware to complete your look. Find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot. More than a window store.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Ifan. Gather up, Wildcats fans. It's time to hear from our captain. It's time for our pregame speech. Captain's Corner is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto. And now, here is the captain, Kelvin Ifan.
Welcome into this week's edition of the Captain's Corner, presented by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto. I'm Kelvin Ifan. Our guest today is Frank Middleton, offensive lineman from the class of 1996 here at the U of A. Frank, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing today?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, man. Hey, we had a late night last night with the basketball team and took our L, and we here bright and early, ready to go today, man.
It sounds like a fun day, a fun weekend in Tucson.
Yes, sir, man. Back at it. So, man, tell me how you and the family been doing, man? What you been up to?
Oh, man, trying to get myself better, man. I'm back on my weight program, just trying to stay alive, man.
Yes, sir, man. I hear you, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you reaching out to me, man, about my mom, man. I really appreciated that, man. So, a Wildcat family, man, and I appreciate you reaching out to me, man.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. So tell me, man, are you still coaching right now?
Man, I volunteered at a Catholic school last year, but it's my last year, man. I'm too old for it, and it's too stressful for me.
Right, so you get away from that stress part of it. No, man, I hear you. You know, when you competitors like ourselves, man, you put everything into it. So you can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Now, I totally get that, man. So question, who recruited you here to the University of Arizona? I know the story, but I want some of the other people to hear it.
So Coach Dickey, Charlie Dickey, the old line coach, found me in Fort Scott, Kansas, in the middle of nowhere. And it was one of those late signing things. I signed with Georgia, and at the last second, some things went wrong with that, and Coach Dickey came and found me, man.
Man, we got – go ahead.
Frank, it's Glenn Howell. Hey, man, you know, Charlie was my boy, man. He was my roommate. But I tell you one thing, man, Frank, he loved you, man. Charlie loved you, man. He loved coaching you. He always thought that he when he saw you, he said, he even told me, he said, you're his guy. He just knew that you were going to be a baller.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Coach Dickey was a good guy, man. He used to take me to church all the time and call my mom and just give an update on me. But he always woke me up and took me to church. And I think that's where we built our relationship from. We still talk today, man. We always check up on each other. But some relationships you can't break. And most of my relationships from Arizona is still in contact.
And I'm gonna tell you what it is. Why Coach Dickey loved him, and I loved him also as well. He's a epitome of what Texas offensive lineman is. And number one thing is tough. Number one thing is tough. The next one is nasty.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of them have backgrounds of playing defense, right, and end up on offense. I'm pretty sure Frank plays some D tackle. But Frank, when I tell you dependable and ready to strap on the field legally, right, ready to go at all times. That's the type of guy that you want going down that alley.
Yeah,
you're going down that alley. Me and Frank was in a couple alleys too.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Coach Dickey. Hey, Frank, I'll tell you, Coach Dickey, I played next to him because I was a tight end. He was the offensive. Charlie was nasty. He was the nicest guy off the field, but he was dirty, man.
So that's why he like Frank.
Yeah, because he was dirty. Because we used to do some damage. They could have called the popo on us, man. Because Charlie was nasty. So that's why he liked. I think that's why he liked Frank.
So since you told on Coach Dickey, I wouldn't have said, but most of my bad behavior came because of Coach Dickey's stories. You sit back and listen to your coach stories about how they played and things.
Yes.
You're like, God, dog, I'm going to do that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I stayed in trouble. So me and Coach Dickey always had early morning film sessions and running and lifting. So he always told me the stories. And, I mean, we really got close, man. His wife, his kids, like, just a great situation for me.
Yeah, Coach Dickey was my roommate, and then he was in my wedding, man. He was like, and I just talked to him yesterday. He's having a tough season, man. He's like, you got to reach out to him, man, Frank, because he's having a tough season right now, and you know he's had a lot of injuries and stuff, and he's just battling. That's what he does.
All day long. Sign of a true champion.
Yep.
So Frank, man, you played here for Coach Tomey, man. You know, everybody know Coach Tomey's my guy, man. But I wanted you to tell a little story of something about Coach Tomey, something that happened with Coach Tomey that you remember that has a special place in your mind.
Coach Tomey was about to send me home.
I think I remember some of that.
That's a special place in my mind. When I first came to Arizona, I really just wanted to do me and kind of just be who I was and not change and grow and develop into the kind of person Coach Tomey knew I could be. So we bumped heads a lot on me just growing. But once I got the picture and he gave me that final stare down with the door closed and locked, and kind of had that heart-to-heart conversation, man, I got the picture, man. You know, he stayed on top of me. He never, he punished me, but he never gave up on me, man. And I appreciate that from him. At the time, I didn't understand it, but, the older I got, I realized that he was trying to force me into a role I wasn't ready for. I came in as a JUCO transfer, so I was older than most of the guys on the team already. We had a young team at the time with K.E. being a baby. I had to be a better example than I was. So he pretty much forced me into a leader role before I was ready, but I understood it and learned from it.
Yeah, man, Coach Tomey was, real special to all of us. He had all of us in that room a time or two and let us know that we could hit the dough if things didn't get right, man.
But K.E., if I'm not mistaken, I think you was one of the reasons I went to the office and got in trouble, man.
What happened? What happened?
I ain't gonna tell too much, but I pretty much think it was you that got
Oh, man.
I'm busy for you young guys, man. You young guys come in that office, man.
Oh, man.
I always just say, Frank, but you the oldest, Frank. You should know better than this. I say, but them kids, I think my biggest fight was because of you. You don't know,
man. You know, hey, that was back in the day, man. Back in the day. But I'd say, you know, you play offensive lineman, man, in the NFL, and we lost a first-round offensive lineman here. I don't know how much you watched him in Jordan Morgan, but tell the people you were a third-round offensive lineman when you left here, and it was a big hole to fill when you left. We went on a little skid before we picked ourselves back up and ended up going to a bowl game. But tell the people how hard it is to lose one guy on your O-line and how much it changes your O-line.
Man. So I always tell people, man, your O-line is like your hand. Imagine trying to use your hand and your index. It's hard. You got to learn how to redo things. Or imagine trying to grab things with no thumb. It's like you got to relearn how to operate. You got to relearn how to communicate. I mean, that's huge, man. If you can keep O-line together, like, it's just easier. But the conversations you got to have, the timing you got to have, the patience you got to have with each other, man, it can be real hard if you got a bunch of young kids.
Frank Middleton is our guest in the Captain's Corner, brought to you by Jack Ferrier Tire and Auto. Jack Ferrier since 1960. We're here to get you there. So how important in this past happy time where you see all these offenses, man, their number one thing is the pass. They use the pass to set up the run now. How important, man, is to you as an offensive lineman, from an offensive lineman perspective, to actually run the ball?
Hey, man, I would hate playing right now. Like, I was one of those guys that wanted to run. I mean, I needed a 50-50 split. I was 6'3". I wasn't tall, so just drop back pass front all day would been hard on me. But this new age football is different, man. So I'm happy I got my time, man, and I'm going to leave that to the young guys to worry about all that pass pro.
Yeah, but tell us how important it was to actually run the ball. I mean, because running the ball sets the temperament of your team, right? It makes them understand that, like, it may be only a 1 yard run, but we probably pancake 3 of your guys. So we're worrying on those guys. We're wearing them down. So when it do come time to pass the ball, they don't have those legs to rush us, or they don't want to rush us because they know how nasty we are and some of the dirty things we're going to do to them to keep them away from our quarterback. So that's where I was coming from. Why it's important to run the ball, because don't you need to get those licks on those guys?
Well, I used to tell my offensive coaches I like to run the ball because they always say make the other D-line quit. I never made a D-lineman quit by pass front. So if you can let me tee off on them 30, 40 times, it's kind of like the Baltimore Ravens. The more Henry did it, the better he's going to be. And I think it's the same thing with the O-line. The more the O-line do it, the better they're going to get with it.
You played in the NFL for several years, man, and tell me, man, how did it feel to make it? You went to JUCO, you know, stumbled out of high school, ended up in JUCO, then end up going to Georgia, came to Arizona. How good did it feel at the end of the day to be a third-round drafted offensive lineman and to be able to do some things for Mom?
Man, it felt great because the whole thing is to make life easy for your mother and your family coming up behind you. So that's the one thing I wanted to do. But I would say this, man. My life was like really up and down in a lot of ways, but one thing never changes, and that was my faith in God, man, and my mom praying for me, and my uncle always praying for me, and just staying with a praying family, man. I think they prayed me through more things than I worked through, if that makes sense to you. Mm-hmm. But my mom just, I mean, when I made it, I didn't make it. It's like Beaumont made it. It's like my mom made it. My uncle made it. And we're from the lower side of Beaumont. So for us to get an upgrade like that made everybody feel a little special. And that what made me feel special.
Yes, sir, man. How did playing at Arizona help you reach that goal? How you know, being here, you know, playing at Arizona, how did that help you get to that point?
Man, Arizona, what's the reason I got to that point? Well, let me say this. Arizona was the vehicle, but the person I dedicate everything to, the reason I always will have a love for him is Coach Dickey, man. Coach Dickey found me at a low spot, man. I wasn't in a good place mentally. I wasn't in a good place physically. But when he found me, man, he saw something in me. He groomed me. He took me to church. He kept me on the right track, man. Me and his wife used to have long conversations, man. He always called my mom for me. Like, he was that guy, man. Like I just called him my white daddy back in the day. Like, he just always took care of me, man.
Yeah.
Like, he knew how to talk to me. Like, you couldn't fuss at me. You had to talk to me.
Right.
And he always knew how to talk to me and things to say. So, Coach Dickey made the world of difference for me.
Yes, sir. Frank Middleton is our guest in the Captain's Corner, brought to you by Jack Ferrier Tire and Auto. Jack Ferrier since 1960. We're here to get you there. Man, Yusuf Scott, man, I got to bring him up. I know how close you was. You talking about young guys. He was a guy that was under you. You helped defensive lineman that you helped bring over the offensive lineman. He ended up playing offensive guard for us. First of all, tell me how you felt about Yusuf and some of the stuff you remember about our guy, Big U.
R.I.P., man. Big U was my little brother, man. I played against him my senior year in high school, and I think he was a sophomore. And we started our battle then. And when Coach Dickey recruited me, he kind of told me about Yusuf and told me he had a project for me, man. And when we met up, we was both fat and happy. That was the best thing about it. We was both fat and happy, man. And we loved football. And from there, the love for each other just grew.
Yeah, man, I love playing with Big U, man. He was so infectious, man. Gentle giant. But when I tell you on that football field, one of the so nasty, love pancaking you, dropping that 3. Let's go with 340. Let's go with 340. I'm pretty sure.
340 a change.
But man, when I tell you, man, he did not mind putting you on your back, man. You had 74 were accredited in '96. They said for 74 knockdown of pancake blocks, man. Where did you get that nastiness from? Where did you get that understanding that's the way you get the job done?
I was hungry, man. I had to feed my family, man. I had to get my mama out the hood, man. Like, just knowing that person in front of me was the only thing stopping me from my goals, man. I can't let nobody take nothing from me. So that was my anger and frustration coming out every Saturday because I knew that my mom deserved better and needed more. So that made me play hard and fight through some things.
Yes, sir, man. What is there any games that stand out to you that you put? Oh, I was telling Glenn about, I don't know if you want to speak to it, but what happened at Oregon State that time with the Beaver, and I told him you was joking around and it got taken seriously. So and I told him you actually had to go to go visit the judge or something. What happened there?
I got to check. I think I'm still not allowed to go back to Oregon. I got to look into that. No, I love football, man, and people challenge me to do things, and sometimes I shouldn't take challenges I took. But I did go to court. I didn't get in trouble. They kind of slapped me on my wrist. But the funniest part about it is that story, that incident, kind of woke me up to a lot of NFL teams, and from that moment, I kind of hit the clock. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't in a good way, but once they realized that crazy guy that did that can actually play football, and they understood the story, that kind of helped me out a little bit.
Right. Yeah, right. Well, Frank, man, really appreciate you. Our thanks to Arizona's 96 offensive lineman Frank Middleton for joining us this week in the Captain's Corner.
Thanks, Frank.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
That's your Captain's Corner with Kelvin Efon. Captain's Corner is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto. Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is getting you closer to kickoff. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community designed by nature, University Termite and Pest Control, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rocking K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company.
Sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at CoolWillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot. Best price, biggest inventory.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. 623-7066.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Touchdown, Arizona, Gunnar Maldonado. Noah straight back to throw. Got him in. Hot touchdown, Arizona. He's sacked by Jacob Manu. And it's picked off. Trayton Stukes. Nobody close to Tetaroa McMillan.
Let's go. Tear down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. The Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We're getting closer to kickoff for today's Arizona football game. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
The holder, punter Michael Salgado Medina, is in Arizona territory on the 48-yard line. The hold is down. The kick is up. It's got the distance. And it's good.
Yes, sir.
Oh, a career long for Tyler Loop to end the half. My goodness, 62 yards from Tyler Loop, the golden boot.
Tyler Loop with the longest field goal in Arizona football history. Something that Nick Folk didn't do, something that Jason Bonzio didn't do, something that the legendary Max Zendejas didn't do. 62 yards for Tyler Loop. Let's hear from the kicker on the confidence that he's been building to make a field goal like that.
Yeah, that's been something through like this past week that I've just been working on. Just wanting to hit a straighter, more clean rotating ball that cuts the wind well. And that's something I've been working on for years. And, you know, I've talked about a lot, like kicking is about not being a perfect kicker, but being a perfect adjuster, being a good adjuster. And so I'd say, like, I don't think my confidence changed going into the game. Like, still felt good, still was hitting a good ball. It's pretty much the same ball, just doesn't draw as much, but it was fun. This week we drilled a lot just with our operation and had some good team reps. And funny enough, the last field goal that I hit before game day was a 62-yarder in practice. So going out, I was like, heck yeah, I just did this 2 days ago, which was a bunch of fun. So that was really special.
Yeah, and I went to practice on Tuesday or Wednesday, and he just missed a 65-yarder, hit the crossbar.
I don't think those other guys could do that.
Oh,
that's why I don't think that
they
could. I don't think they could do it.
Right.
But he can.
Yeah.
But I don't think in that time you would even try it though. Back in
the day,
yeah, they wouldn't. They would have went for a punt.
Yeah,
They would have did a 10, 15-yard
But
punt.
I don't think those guys were capable of doing that. All the guys you named.
No.
Even my boy Zach.
No.
Max.
No. All right, let's take a look at what's happening on the college football scoreboard.
Let's take a look at what's happening today around the rest of the country. The college football scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers.
All right, we've got the one of the big games of the day happening right now. Number 5, Indiana. Number 2, Ohio State. How about the Hoosiers up early in Columbus?
Went down and scored.
My mom is not happy. My mom, Jackie, is here today. She is not happy about that. She loves her Ohio State Buckeyes, so not real happy with the situation right now as it is pertaining to happen down there in Columbus. But it's still early there, and then it looks like the Buckeyes are driving down to get that equalizing score. Guys, big game in the Big 12 today up in Tempe. BYU against Arizona State's got an interesting local hook to it. This is going to be the final game for Trenton and Coben Bourget, who played high school football here in Tucson at Marana High School. And it's also going to be an opportunity for them to square off against their brother Trayson, who was at South Point Catholic and helped lead them. I believe they went to the state championship game with Trayson as their quarterback a few years ago. He started his career at Central Michigan and has since transferred now in his first season as BYU as a backup to Jake Retzloff. So the Bourget Bowl, they're calling it today up in Tempe. But great for that family, to Toby Bourget and his family to have that opportunity to have this moment today with all of their boys on the football field for one final time. That the first set of because there's another set of boys, they're younger, that are coming along now. But this first set of boys that grew up together on a college football field together for a first time, that's going to be tremendous for that family today.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I mean, for Toby and his wife that have done a great job. And that's what you look at that family. It's just like a family of a village. It's really a village, man, because all those guys out there in Marana, they've done a great job. Their kids have been they're all really good kids. I remember seeing Trayson is the one who's the ASU quarterback? Which
That's
one?
Trenton.
Trenton. I saw him at a restaurant, And I told him, I said, you know what, I understand you went to ASU, and I really don't like you just for that. But I really admire everything you've done, and I think he was really nice about that because I was just joking with him. And he's just a good kid, and he was just started laughing. And I mean, they're all good kids, and they come from a great family, and more power to them. I hope they be able to continue on their career, maybe play a little arena football or play in some other, or even get a shot in the NFL.
And they do such a great job with that Tucson turf. They have all kind of kids from playing at all type of schools of whatnot. So and they have a lot to do with the reason Marana football has turned around up there, because a lot of those kids participate in that football program.
And their cousins are playing. There's cousins and other kids that are quarterback.
The quarterback is the cousin. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and it's unfortunate. I think Colton Smith, I believe is his name, the quarterback, or Colton Meyer, I'm sorry, I think is the quarterback this year. Unfortunately, they lost last night to Chandler Hamilton. They were the number 1 seed in the Open Division. Curious what you guys think about that.
They should have never been in the Open.
Yeah.
They should have never been in the Open.
Now, you say that, and they had a chance to win that game, right?
Yeah, but I still don't think they should have been in the Open. They should have been. They should have been in the 6A and let them play in the 6A, because it's just not fair. I don't think it was fair. The AIA did another job on Tucson. AIA is just ridiculous.
Don't get me started on the AIA. I've never understood. I've been here 16 years, and I have no idea what they're doing up there with that organization and the decisions they make, and the constant changing of the divisions every 2 years, and in the regions, and it's just I don't know. I agree with you. I mean, again, I know the coaches and the players in South Point said this back in the day, that you want to compete at the highest level, but I think you also want to win. You want to have an opportunity to be on a level playing field and win a state championship. And that game was close. I mean, it was a 9-point game. They had a chance there at the end to potentially get back in it. But man, those kids from CDO, they're going to remember winning a state championship last year for the rest of their lives, and I think you miss out on that when you're in a situation maybe where, it's nice, but can you really compete with those 7 teams from the Valley that are going to be in there every year?
Yeah, and, I think that they get these decisions out of the committees. I think they should stop drinking in those committees because they come out of those committees with some crazy stuff, man. I mean, they really do. They really do come out of those committees with some alignments that are just ridiculous.
Also today, Colorado at Kansas, 16th ranked Colorado. So Colorado 6-1, BYU 6-1, Arizona State 5-2. So Arizona State wins today, and they're coming to town next week with a chance to be the Big 12 champions. That could be one fun Saturday, regardless of whether they're coming here with a Big 12 championship game, the berth on the line for them. But they've got to. I mean, again, this was a team that was picked to finish 16th. And they've got a shot today to beat BYU and put themselves in a position to play in Dallas here coming up in a couple of weeks. All right, that is a look at your early scoreboard.
The College Football Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers.
All right, let's first of all, let's let you know what is coming up in this final hour of the show. Let's do that here.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show, brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, about 45 minutes left with you here at Corbett's off 4th. Come on down. We've got 38 TVs here. They've got the garage doors open on this. It's starting to warm up here. It's a little chilly at the beginning, but starting to warm up here in downtown Tucson. So come on out and grab some eats and some drinks and watch some college football. You can do that all day here for sure. We've got the Pest of the Game coming straight ahead. We'll have our scouting report. We'll hear from Stephen Johnson from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Best bets still to come, as well as our keys to the game. In fact, right now, let's find out who that horned frog might be that gets underneath the shirt of the Wildcats today.
Who is the pest the Wildcats need to be free from to win today's game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. BePestFree.com.
All right, the Horned Frogs, a team that can really run the football. I'm sorry, pass the football, but they may try to run it today to try to stabilize themselves. Guys, who do you think? We'll start with you, Glenn. Who do you think the pest is going to be today? Oh, let's start with you, Kel.
Save Vaughn.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Savon.
Savion Williams.
Savion Williams, man.
Williams.
I watched a little bit on him. He's a beast. He's a beast. Big kid, 6'5", and Takario. He's gonna earn his money today, because I think they're gonna try to set up, some one-on-ones with him and just get him in. They put this guy in the backfield also, so he's gonna be the pest. I think we gotta just kind of try to shut him down.
And I got one for you. J.P. Richardson. J.P. Watch out for J.P. because I tell you, man, big play guy, receiver on the outside, got some good size on him, 6'1", 195, but, got a lot of speed.
I'm going to go with this guy. Let's hear his highlight here, in fact. Jordan Bailey.
This is the first time we've seen either team go for it on fourth down. Hoover's going to climb under center. He's got
Coach Dykes, he really did a good job of bringing us in that team meeting and laying down like the formula and the plan that what we was going to do moving forward. And so we just really just locked in on the plan and really went out to practice and executed it day by day, and it's starting to really show. And it just started with taking care of the football, and dominating the line of scrimmage up front on both sides of the ball. So once we locked in and owned on that, it's just changing for us. So we just got to keep doing those things, keep working on the details, and keep getting better.
Didn't get a great spot. They'll flip it to Savion, pitch it on the reverse to Jordan Bailey. Needs a block from Hoover. Gets one, got another one on the edge, turns it up down to the 40. Here's Jordan Bailey, cuts it back at the 30. On his feet to the 20, down to the 10. Outruns everyone in the end zone. Hit the horn. 59-yard scamper for Jordan Bailey.
Jordan Bailey hasn't had a lot of touches, but he has scored on touches in the last 2 games. And again, this is an instance where they're using their wide receivers. I mentioned earlier in the show, they're using their wide receivers like Jordan Bailey, like Savion Williams in the run game. So look out for that today, because Jordan Bailey's a guy that they can throw the ball to, and they also a guy they might hand it off to today.
In this game, we had real issues in the beginning of the year of setting the edge. If we don't set the edge in this game's going to get ugly.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about Jordan Bailey? That's my cousin.
Are you serious?
That's my cousin.
No
I had to go
way.
and look up. Yeah. His brother was the running back in Money Bailey that played. He's in the NFL now. Yeah, that's my cousin. Yeah,
wow.
They down the line.
Because I thought he sounded like he was from California.
When I was looking for what town he was from when I heard the accent. I said, he got
exactly. That's what I said. The accent sounded like he's from California. From Texas.
My family is from Denton, Texas. He's from Denton. No, that's exactly. No, that's my little cousin. His grandmother is on my Facebook right now. I could go to you, and she's on there.
Really? That's awesome.
Red shirt. Well, I'll trade you past the game if you want.
That's my little cousin. Yeah.
Outstanding. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on number 14 on offense, Jordan Bailey, today. Those are the guys the Horned Frogs, who might just slip underneath the shirt and make things uncomfortable for the Wildcats today.
That's our Pest of the Game, brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. BePestFree.com.
All right, Austin Jordan's out of Denton, Texas, too. Is he fam?
He's not fam.
No, he's not fam. All right. Just wanted to check. All right, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. We're going to find out a little bit more about the Horned Frogs. Stephen Johnson from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram is going to join us. We are coming to you live from Corbett's, Miami, leading early over Wake Forest on the Goldberg and Osborne, the Injury Lawyers scoreboard today, along with Kelvin Ifan and Glenn Howe, along with J.W. Madden back in studios. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football continues. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, Drain Medics, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Police Department, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Go Wildcats! As a new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, the Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Donna Autumn Nation.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, a proud sponsor of Arizona Athletics since 1968. And this year, the Wildcats are driving into the Big 12. But we've been down this road before. From the WAC to the PAC, it's never been about the conference. It's always been about the Wildcats. And you can count on the Cats. And you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care for the very best deals on tires and award-winning auto care. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there. Go Cats!
The Window Depot is more than a window store. The Window Depot is a one-stop warehouse with everything you need for your complete home remodel. Shop the aisles of pre-built cabinets in a variety of colors, granite and quartz countertops, sinks, skylights, and hardware to complete your project. Need a custom order? We can help. Our designers offer free design services and can special order everything you need for your kitchen or bathroom remodel today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg and Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 five-star Google reviews prove Goldberg and Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg and Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Efon.
This is the first time we've seen either team go for it on fourth down. Hoover's going to climb under center. He's got Savion behind him. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left-hand side now. Hoover leaves the backfield, snap to Savion, rolling right, jump throw in the end zone, and it is caught for the score.
All right, let's take a little bit of a closer look at today's opponent, the TCU Horned Frogs, already bowl eligible at 6-4. Wildcats trying to get to that, but they need a win today. Pleased to be joined by Steven Johnson, covers the TCU Horned Frogs for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram down in Texas. And Steven, appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. How's our old friend Sonny Dykes, former offensive coordinator here at U of A, doing now? And I believe this is his 3rd season at TCU, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this is his 3rd season. I would imagine he's doing a lot better than he was just a little bit over a month ago, where there were legit questions kind of brewing with Sonny about to be on the hot seat despite taking TCU to the national title game 2 years ago. But they've won 3 of their last 4 games. They've been more consistent. They haven't been turning the ball over. They've been looking like a better team right now. And they seem poised to close the year strong with Arizona and Cincinnati left. So I would say the spirit of the program is in a much better mood than it was in kind of mid-October when they got blown out by SMU, got upset by Houston, and things looked like they were looking like they could have went off the rails a bit. So I think Sonny deserves a ton of credit for kind of bringing the guys together and keeping the guys in check and not letting the season get away from them like they did last year.
Obviously, with Sonny Dykes, you're going to get a team that passes the football, and this team certainly does that, ranked 6th nationally at almost 330 yards a ball game. Josh Hoover, the man that's calling those signals and distributing the ball. What kind of quarterback are the Wildcats going to see today in Josh Hoover?
Hoover's really talented. This is his first full year as a starter. I think he might just now begin to 12 or so starts. So he's really talented. He has a big arm. He has a lot of confidence in that arm. He can move a little bit. They don't use him a ton in the run game. When he moves, he's more so kind of trying to extend the play and get outside the pocket to kind of find guys downfield. The big thing with Josh is just avoiding those turnover-worthy plays. He's a bit of a gunslinger in that regard, where he trusts his arm so much, he'll try to fit balls into tight windows, or he'll just really try to force the issue when he really doesn't need to. So if Josh is playing within himself, everything's on time, he's a good mix of taking what's in front of him and also having the ability to push the ball down the field. So I think he's established him in kind of that upper echelon of quarterbacks, not only in the Big 12, but maybe in the country. I think his numbers stack up with some of the best. So Sonny Dykes believes he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and I think the numbers are bearing out that he's on that trajectory at least.
Chatting with Steven Johnson from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram today, our scouting report on TCU, and we mentioned Josh Hoover, the quarterback. He's got a talented group of wide receivers to throw the ball to, certainly, when you look at the fact that there are 3 guys with over 40 catches in this offense. Jack Beck, one of the better wide receivers in the Big 12, the transfer from LSU. Not necessarily a great first year down there in Fort Worth with the club, but has really grown this year. What's kind of allowed him? Is it just the second year in the program more comfortable that's allowed him to kind of take that leadership role?
Well, I think for the first time in maybe 2 seasons, he's healthy. His first year in Fort Worth, he couldn't go through spring ball. He only played in 8 games. So he was still dealing with a couple of lower body injuries that eventually caused him to have surgery. So he got to go through spring ball. And in the spring, TCU had so many wide receivers out. Some guys were getting low, man, and some guys were hurt. So Jack was kind of the guy that got most of those reps in the spring, and Sonny Dykes even called him like the offensive MVP afterwards. Josh Hoover was another guy that was hurt during the spring. So Jack really stepped up, and I think that helped him build a lot of confidence going into the season. Everybody kind of expected like Savion Williams and Eric McAllister to kind of be the big-name receivers, the leading receivers. And they both have had productive years, but Jack's just reliable, man. He's consistent. He has great hands, probably the best hands on the team. And he's an underrated deep threat, man. He's the type of guy, he can really attack the seams in the post route. And he just wins a lot of these one-on-one matchups. They play him a lot on the outside. So I think he's a really balanced receiver. I think he's the most improved player in the country. And hopefully, and I think he deserves a lot of All-American, All-Big 12, all of those type of considerations, even though he doesn't have the big names like a Ryan Williams or a Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, 16 catches for more than 20 yards on the season. That's pretty good number to look at for sure. How does the run kind of play into what they do, passing the ball?
Well, truthfully, they struggle with the run game, honestly, and I think that's kind of where some of Hoover's issues have come from when he has to throw the ball 40, 50 times a game, man. No matter how efficient you are, you're probably going to make a mistake at least once or twice. So they haven't been able to run it well. They have one of the worst rushing offenses in the Big 12 right now. But they do have a new wrinkle they've been using recently with Savion Williams, putting him in the backfield as both like a running back and a Wildcat quarterback. And that's kind of unlocked the running game a bit. I think they had a season high in rushing against Oklahoma State because he's so athletic. He's 6'4", 6'5", great speed, great physicality. So that's kind of opened up the run game a little bit. But TCU has not been able to run the ball consistently in the way they wanted to. And that's probably one of the reasons they're not in the running. Well, they're still technically in the running. But one of the reasons they lost to UCF early in the year was just they couldn't run the ball and shoot the clock despite having an 18-point lead. So I would say that's probably a glaring weakness for TCU, even though they've shown some modest improvement over the last couple of weeks.
Chatting with Steven Johnson from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, getting you set for TCU and Arizona kickoff straight ahead at 1 o'clock. As we look at the defensive side of the ball, Steven, some big get-backs that are going to be on that side. Linebacker Cooper McDonald, I understand, along with Marcus Deal, going to be back after having missed a few games. What's that going to do to kind of add to the defensive side for TCU?
Well, Cooper is a big addition coming back. At one point, there was a case to be made. He was probably TCU's best defender, at the very least the best pass rusher on the team. So, but he's been out, I think, since the Utah game. So getting him back, that's another added pass rusher to kind of pair with Davion Dill, who kind of stepped up in his place, and I think he's had 4 or 5 sacks over the last couple of games. So now TCU gets 2 of his best pass rushers back on the field in unison. Marcus Dill, blue-chip recruit, one of the highest-ranked prospects in the class of 2023, a local kid from one of the Dallas suburbs. I think he could be kind of like that future building block of the defense in the middle of defensive tackle. He didn't start at the beginning of the year, but then they inserted him to the lineup, so they have a lot of high hopes about him. So they get another defensive tackle back as well. So they got better depth up front, and I think one of the weaknesses on TCU defensively has been teams have been able to kind of wear them down with the running game. So having those additional bodies, being able to rotate a little bit more, should allow TCU to do a little bit better against the run game, but that's also been an area they've been struggling at this season.
What are the keys in your mind to TCU winning this game today?
I think they have to win a turnover battle. Right now, they're probably one of the worst teams in the country when it comes to turnover margin. And they've been avoiding those turnovers during this winning stretch of football. So they win a turnover battle. I think if they don't allow T-Mac to go for, I know he can go nuclear, but if you can just keep him to say 100 yards and not like 150, 200, I think those are 2 things that will probably lead them to victory. And as long as they can find some balance with the run game, can you get to 130 yards? Or in the fourth quarter, can you just use the Savion package, or can you find a running back to kind of chew the clock down in case you have a lead late in the game? So those are probably the 3 keys for me.
And describe the atmosphere that we're going to see today at TCU. Obviously, senior day, so those young men will be celebrated. First time for the Wildcats as a Big 12 team playing in this venue. What can folks expect?
I've heard there might have been some atmospheric problems or some things going on with Arizona this year. So it'll be a better environment than Arizona. It shouldn't be too hot on Saturday. But typically, I think the best environments from TCU are normally those games where they play some of the Texas schools. So I think it'll be fine. Should be a decent tailgating scene, probably a step up from some of the other places Arizona has been. But I don't think it's going to knock people's socks off. But it is a solid place. Fort Worth's a great town. And TCU is kind of located almost in the heart of the city. So if you're an Arizona fan in the area, you'll have plenty to do after the game, before the game as well.
Outstanding. Steven Johnson covers the TCU Horned Frogs for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Steven, appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the invite.
This is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Wildcats at Texas Christian. Straight ahead. Kickoff at 1 o'clock. Much more coming up for you live from Corbett's here off of 4th. Along with Kelvin Efon and Glenn Howe, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Are you facing a clogged drain or an upgrade to a tankless water heater? Rightway has you covered. And for a limited time only, we're offering 10% off your next repair or installation. Don't let plumbing issues ruin your day. Call Rightway at 520-276-2775. We'll get a plumber to your door. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, a proud sponsor of Arizona Athletics since 1968. And this year, the Wildcats are driving into the Big 12. But we've been down this road before. From the WAC to the PAC, it's never been about the conference. It's always been about the Wildcats. And you can count on the Cats. And you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care for the very best deals on tires and award-winning auto care. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there. Go Cats!
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Come out to Dave & Buster's, the best place outside of the stadium to see the games this football season. Monday and Thursday, get all-you-can-eat wings with game card for $19.99. Sunday, get in on the chance to win a big game watch party at Dave & Buster's in front of the big screen, plus other big prizes and weekly winners. Join them now through October 22nd, all day, every day. They'll be offering $5 22-ounce drafts only at Dave & Buster's. Make Dave & Buster's your place to watch the games.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 five-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Ifan.
And Chris Hunter had a big game.
Drops back, looking across the field. He's got a wide open Chris Hunter who pulls it in for a first down, and Arizona keeps this drive alive.
That was beautifully timed play. That was an in route by Chris Hunter, and he put the ball right on the spot. That was a beautiful pass by Noah Fafita.
Indeed it was. That helped set up that screen pass touchdown to Quali Connolly in last week's win over the Houston Cougars. Chris Hunter has really been emerging at that second wide receiver position, and he was asked this week what he has learned from the big man, Tetero McMillan.
First of all, he might be one of the hardest practice players I've seen, so I try to replicate that myself. And he's constantly working, like all the time, trying to learn new techniques, learn new things. So all the time, you might catch me just talking to him, chatting it up. I remember I just did it today, trying to figure out what to do, what he does, what technique he uses versus press in the boundary. Because, Biletnikoff, last year he could have won it. This year, I think he should win it, and so that's the best receiver in the nation. So just being around him, like, he brings everybody up, he lifts everybody up, and he has such great energy, and I try to just learn as much as I can from him. Like, I'm asking him things all the time, trying to steal some techniques from his book and learn, like, the small details that he does that gets him such separation, when he runs his routes and stuff. So, he has special talent. Y'all all know that. Y'all done seen it. So just trying to learn as much as I can.
That's what you want to do when you got a guy like Tetairoa McMillan on your roster, is try to take advantage of every piece of knowledge that you can get from him. And it's been great to see Chris Hunter kind of develop into that second receiver that we've been talking about that this offense has really needed.
I think that, he had an opportunity. The window was open. He stepped in, and he's taking advantage of it. And that's what you got to do, man. When you're playing at this level of football, there's not very many opportunities, man. If you get that, other than injury or you don't really hear about eligibility anymore. That used to be a big factor. You guys weren't ineligible, in school, but it's a time where you take advantage of it, and he's taking full advantage of it, and then more power to him.
He is now the second leading receiver on the team at 259 yards, but it's still a very large disparity when you think Tetairoa McMillan has 1,136 yards and the next guy has 259.
Yeah, that don't even sound right.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, and that's been one of the issues, obviously, is that they have not had.
Sure, that's not the first 3 games.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Chris Hunter getting his first 100-yard receiving game in the loss to Central Florida. We had 7 catches in that particular ball game. Brent Brennan talking about the development of one Chris Hunter.
Well, I think that's the development piece is that's what it is, right? He hadn't played at all before this year, really. And so, and the acceleration of that by him playing more in the games is that you're starting to see his development accelerate, kind of what we were talking about with Genesis or Owen. And so I think Chris is one of those players that he's consistently and really hard worker in practice. He is full speed all the time, so he's getting all those reps where he's transitioning those breaks full speed, and he's running those routes and those screens and all the things we ask him to do full speed. And then you see his confidence growing with the success he's had in game, which is, you start to build that confidence in the practice environment, right? And then you get chances to test it on game day. And, the more he plays, the more consistent that has become. And so I think we can all be really excited about Chris Hunter.
Indeed. Let's see what Chris Hunter can do today in Texas against the Horned Frogs as the Wildcats try to get that 5th win of the season. All right, let's see what this game looks like on the big board over at the Desert Diamond Casino.
Tucson. What are today's best bets? Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at some of the best bets in football this weekend. Today's best bets are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, Arizona, a huge underdog. I don't know if they've been double-digit underdogs this season, but they are today. 11-point dog.
But didn't it drop yesterday to 9?
I did not see that.
I thought I saw it at 9.
I did not see that. It's pretty. I think it opened at 12, so it's pretty much been around this number for the entire week. TCU minus 11.
Dog.
Exactly. What do we got? What are you taking there, Glenn Howell?
Oh man, 12 dog, man. That's why they keep building those buildings over there in Vegas. But I have to say.
I do not have a BetQL 5-star play on this game today. I didn't get one on that game. I wish I did.
I got to go with – I got to think we could be within 12. I think that I'm hoping for us to be within 12. I'm going to take the Cats.
All right, so Glenn is taking Arizona.
What's the score? What's the score in the season?
Between all of us?
Yeah.
I don't have a total on that. I'll have a total on the post-game show. I've got to total it up because I lost track one week, and I haven't had a chance to go back and get the record from that week. But I'll have that for you tonight. Kelvin, TCU minus 11.
I'm going to have to take the 11.
TCU?
Yeah.
And lay the 11.
Yes.
Or you're taking the 11 and UVA.
I think TCU wins by
more than 11.
Yes.
All right. I mean, I believe so as well. As much as I'd love to see this thing continue for Arizona, they haven't necessarily proved on the road in these environments that they can play at a high level. At least this team has not. So I'm going to take TCU and lay the 11 points as well. The over-under
I was going to say DK.
Yes.
But I hope they win.
Yeah.
There you go. I hope I'm wrong. There you go. There we go.
There you go. 59.5 is the over-under on this one.
I'll take the under.
Under.
Yeah, I'm going under.
Under as well.
Calvin, under. The weather's good. What is the weather today? It is 76 degrees in Fort Worth.
Yes,
I'm gonna go over because I think there'll be some points. today. All right, so TCU minus 11 for Kelvin and DK. Glenn takes the Wildcats plus 11. Glenn and Kelvin are taking the under 59.5. I'm taking the over 59.5. We'll see who's cashing tickets tonight on the postgame show.
Those are today's best bets. They are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, if you did not get a chance to hear our interview with Genesis Smith earlier this week, head on over to our website, wildcatsradio1290.com, and you can hear about that. Genesis has got an awesome foundation that he has started to help needy families during this holiday season. One leg of that is called Christmas Cats. Always great to hear our young people, especially now in this era of NIL, where they have maybe a little bit more ability to do stuff like this for their communities that they're doing, and really putting some of those dollars back towards helping out folks in the community.
You know, we all used to do it, when we played, giving back to the community and everything. But when you have something that you got and you're going to give it away, that the NIL and stuff, we didn't have that. We just gave our time,
right?
But he's given some of his money and stuff. I think that's a great thing. That shows a lot of character to me.
All right, if you want to be involved, I think there's still a couple of days left for families to get involved with this opportunity through Genesis Smith's Foundation. Just head on over to his Instagram page and click on the link on Genesis Instagram page. So you want to go to Genesis Smith FDN. It's www.instagram.com/Genesis Smith FDN, and that's Genesis GENESIS Smith FDN, and you can find all about an opportunity for if you have a family that's in need this holiday season to be involved with that. All right, let's get you our keys to the game for this one in Texas today.
Wildcats fans, what are the big keys for today's game? Our keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, guys, keys to the game. What do the Wildcats have to do to win? Let's start with Kelvin Efon.
I got it written down right here. Pressure the quarterback. I really believe that we have to put some pressure on the quarterback. Don't let him get back there and get comfortable and get the dinking and dunking the ball all over the place and get these guys in rhythm. Take care of the football. No turnovers. Absolutely no turnovers. We can't afford to give these guys extra opportunities to score the football. Ball control offense. I believe let's keep them off the field as much as possible. You can pass the ball and still do ball control by getting first downs. Everything don't have to be the long ball touchdown. Let's move the chains and try to keep these guys off the field as much as possible.
I agree with that immensely. I do want to ask you one question,
Kelvin
though.
Took all my stuff.
I do want to ask you one question real quick, though. In terms of What was your first one again? I'm sorry.
Pressure the quarterback.
Pressure the quarterback. They throw the ball so quickly, though. How do you do that?
Well, you want to just get up in his face and get your hands up, anything to get a deflection, anything to try to get to him quick as possible to try to surprise him where he has to get it out quicker and out of rhythm, even if he wants to. And the cornerbacks need to press a little bit more, too. I think pressing will also throw off the timing of some of those quick passes.
Absolutely. We're going to really see how good our corners have become because I'll tell you what, we're going to have to press because we got to make him double pump. We got to have him double pump on. That's my key, is making the quarterback double pump and getting him off the spot. And then we're going to have some I think we're going to have some corner blitzes, even though, on certain downs that we're going to have to get pressure on him from somewhere else. And our gaming is going to have to be good up in front. I think that's real important. And then also, we have to be able to run the freaking ball. We have to run the ball. We have to be able to take some time off the clock, keep that offense off the field so they don't get in rhythm. Get them, don't go for, don't like 3rd and 2, go for the deep ball. We got to move the chains. Get the first down. Our priority today's got to be getting first down. Get first downs and move the chains. And then we have to score inside the 20. We can't go down there and get, especially at TCU, away game, we can't go in there and come away with 3 points. We got to score. Then on the defensive side of the ball, let's make sure that they can't run the ball. Let's make sure they can't run the ball. That's important for them not to be able to run the ball.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, we don't want them to run the ball because if they run the ball, they're going to pass the ball like it's going out of style.
Well, ball hawk, I think you want to ball hawk these guys because again, what we've seen this year is when you can turn them over. That's your opportunity to beat a team like TCU. So if you can go in there and win the turnover battle, that's going to be one key to a potential win today. And also, I believe what you guys have said in terms of the ball control. But I'd like to see at least one game this year where we really lay into this run game and let this run game take over and keep pounding it and give Quali Conley maybe 20 carries and put it on his back and see if he can be a workhorse in this ball game today. So I'd like to see that for sure today for the Arizona Wildcats. All right, those are your keys to Arizona beating TCU today.
Our keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different. The dealership that is different.
All right, guys, real quick, we got about 30 seconds. Final thoughts.
Just go down there and have fun. Make sure that you're making an impression in Texas. Like Kelvin was talking about the Texas boys. They ain't got no respect for us in Arizona. So let's go. Let's go.
Well, and I was gonna say, make sure you go down there and punch them in the mouth. That's
right.
The only thing they're going to understand.
Yeah.
So you better go down there and punch them in the mouth or, it's not going to work great.
All right, thanks for everybody that helped out here today. We had Priscilla, we had Thomas, we had Jesus, we had Saul over there as well. And for J.W. Madden back in studio, Kelvin Efon and Glenn Howe, I'm David Kelly. We've got Arizona, TCU coming up next. Bear down. We'll talk to you after the game. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Make Dave & Buster's a part of your weekly rituals. Military Monday, get extra gameplay on your card. Tuesday night is trivia night with great prizes. Thursday is extra credit with student discounts on gameplay after 9 p.m. Stop in Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch specials. Want more? Rewards members will get an extra 100 chips with a purchase of 100 chips and Sunday sips for hospitality workers. Full and quick service restaurants, hotels, and amusement parks. Discounted beverages and apps after 9 p.m. only at Dave & Buster's.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's November and the weather is cooling down. Now is the time to have your furnace serviced to ensure that it's operating safe and efficient. We also have a $79 garbage disposal service. And check out our monthly plumbing specials on our website. Call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing for all your plumbing and heating needs at 520-492-0748 or picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up?
We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
Go Wildcats! As a new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rocking K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Broadway in Tucson presents the new 2024-2025 season, featuring 6 blockbuster productions, including Mamma Mia and the Southern Arizona premieres of Clue, live on stage, Beetlejuice, Some Like It Hot, the Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, and Shucked. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the best prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2024-2025 season tickets today.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, a proud sponsor of Arizona Athletics since 1968. And this year, the Wildcats are driving into the Big 12. But we've been down this road before. From the WAC to the PAC, it's never been about the conference. It's always been about the Wildcats. And you can count on the Cats. And you can count on Jack Furrier